What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ComixKings, or welcome if this is your first time. I appreciate everybody stopping by today for Tag Team Thursday. You guys know how it is. We start with Rod the Deacon over at 6:30 on his channel, and then we go to John's Comics with Kids for the Community News, and then we go to Tony Old Wolf 65 to kick off some happy hour cheers, and then we usually would go to Dan, but he is taking the week off, right? So also make sure you are subbed to Dan because he will be back with some fire videos next week. But today you guys got 30 minutes of me, which is, I don't know who put me in charge of that, but we're going to take it from there, all right? And I'm super excited to see everybody. And then after this, we're going to be going over to Justin at 7:45 to close everything out. Okay, now today is Christ on Infinite Rants. This is the most random show on the channel, on the train ride, but this month is not going to be so random, okay, because it is Pride Month, so I do want to do something special for that, because there are a lot of people who do celebrate. We really all should be celebrating Pride as an ally of the community. It is our job to make sure that everyone is being accepted for who they are, right, and what they bring to the community and just as a person. Yeah, Tony, over 30 minutes. No. So today is going to be a little serious. I know sometimes we have fun on the show, but this is a really important topic. To some degree, we all do feel a fear of being accepted. This month can be very empowering for a lot of people, but it could also be a struggle for a lot of people as well, okay? Because some people are still in the shadows, or still living in that fear of being accepted or in fear of being who they are, right? So it's our job to make sure that everybody is allowed to be themselves. We're accepting with open arms in this community, not just for comics, but for people in general. People are people, right? So you never know what you can do, what little things you can do to make someone's day. So just make sure every day you're trying to be the best person you can be. And this month really should be celebrated every day, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to be ourselves. We're all trying to be accepted. And we all want a safe space to where we can be ourselves. Okay. Let me say hello to the chat. If you guys have something to say, make sure you guys drop it in the comments below. You will be on the show forever. We got Sheena. What is going on? How are you doing, BFF? We got Flash by Night in here. How are you doing, sir? We got Justin No Good Comics. How are you doing, my friend? We got Gabby, California, but it's been a while since you've been in here. So excited to see you. So excited to see you. Boom. How you doing, Jen? Howdy, friends. Hashtag blame Fable. It's always blame Fable. Hashtag blame Fable. So like I said, this is a pretty important chat. Today's a pretty important discussion. We are going to combine my love for X-Men with also spotlighting some LGBT X-Men, and giving you guys a quick little synopsis about them, right? Again, it is really important that we are highlighting people being themselves, and we got Simon R. Good to see you in here, my friend. How are you doing today, sir? So let's bring out the slideshow. This is Crisis on Infinite Rants. This is not really a crisis now. Being how X-Men was the first time a same-sex marriage appeared in comics. What is going on, Steve? I did want to start with X-Men. Next week, we'll be highlighting some DC Comics LGBT heroes and creators as well in that medium. Because at the end of this, we are going to get to some creators as well. So let's bring out that slideshow. And we have North Star, who is married to Kyle. In the cover you see in the background, Astonishing X-Men 51. This was the first same-sex marriage, right? And 100% what John said, the connection between X-Men and the LGBTQ community is well proven. Yes, and I think that really does stem, right? X-Men is really the first in the big two to really put this forward, to make this more normal, right? And we really should be doing our best to normalize each other's wing. These two characters are great. Obviously, we know Shadowstar really stemmed from Mojo World and that whole verse. So these two really have been through a lot and are going through a lot on Krakoa. We did see them share a moment in the previous X Factor issue, right? What is going on? Rod, how are you doing, sir? Our kickoff man, the hype of the party. How are you doing today, sir? So these two characters, in my opinion, are fantastic. And I really do like them. They really do need to have more of a voice in comics. Shadowstar, however, did have a miniseries a few years ago, written by Tim Seeley. So make sure you guys give that a read on Marvel Unlimited, or pick up the trade if it's at your LCS. It's definitely a great read. Shadowstar is a very underrated character. He's underused, but he's definitely getting more of a voice now in Krakoa. I feel like a lot of niche X-Men characters are getting that voice on Krakoa, so I'm really excited to see them utilize Shadowstar and Richter more, because their stories are still so unsung, and their connection with each other has so much more to be explored, and I'm just super excited for what they have planned for them, or what we're going to see later down the road. And then we have Karma, who was she's part of the New Mutants. She is an openly gay character, and she first came out in X-Men number 507. Karma is part of the New Mutants. She just had a very good storyline in the previous New Mutants issue, written by Vita Ayala. They are a very talented writer. Karma is a very essential team member of the New Mutants. She's one of the original members, so if anyone checked out Lamer Fram the other day, she was not drawn. However, she is very important to that team. I do believe the New Mutants, they are still so unexplored. They're still so underrated. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on them. Just because of their name, New Mutants, it can be thought of Young Justice a lot, but it's not the case, guys. Definitely make sure you guys go back and you read some of the Bronze Age from 1983 when it first came out, by Chris Claremont and Bob McLeod. Also later by Bill Sienkiewicz, who we all know has a great inspiration on Moon Knight. But for Karma as a character, she is so fantastic, and I just love her dynamic and her interactions with other people. So I'm very excited that Vita Ayala is taking this character under their wing and just giving her all of the love in the world, because Karma is really deserving, a very kind-hearted person, So definitely learn more about Karma, you guys. We got Justin saying, smash the like button. Yes, guys, we just got news that Donny Cates is writing Hulk, so make sure you guys just rip off those arm sleeves and just Hulk smash the like button and the subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss an update on the show. And then we have Iceman being more recently openly gay, coming out as gay, which is done by Stina Grace, who's also a very fantastic and friend of the show, LGBT creator in the community, who also just wrote Getting It Together from Image Comics, which is a very fun show. But yeah, see, guys, boom. If John says OG New Mutants is great, it's great, guys. So go read it, because John and I said so. 100%. It's a great read, and I think it's one of the most underrated X-Men stories. For Fable's in here, Station Fable. For Iceman coming out, I feel like Iceman was a perfect character at the time of his, I don't want to say transformation, but his opening. Really was a time where people were demanding more representation, and Iceman was a great character to do that. I know there's a lot of resistance from this character being gay now, because Iceman was part of the First Class X-Men team. However, it's comics, and things are going to grow and change. Characters are going to grow and change. So if it's done right in the comics and they're going to later transfer that into the films, I'm all here for it. I'm really liking Bobby's dynamic, and I feel like he's more himself. I feel like ever since he's been gay, he's been openly gay, he's been very much his true self, and he's really been a great character. He's had a lot more humor. He's felt a lot looser, and he's just been a lot more comfortable. That's really the best word for Iceman. So definitely give this book a try. It's a two series, 2 or 3 trades, and it's great. Iceman is a very cool character, pun intended. Cool, get it? Because ice cool, but just the way that he was brought back and made his own character by Cena was fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. Cena's a great friend of the show. So again, guys, check it out. Do yourself a favor, 100%. And then we have Mystique and Destiny, which we just saw their relationship being explored in X-Men 20. What this relates to in House and Powers of X. Hey, we got Gary B in here, who is listening while reading. That is the way to go, my friend. Good to see you in here as well. It was great being on stream with you last night on the Tomorrow show. So definitely, guys, give that a rewind. Mystique and Destiny is a very cool relationship. It's very different. It's done so differently because you have 2 powerful characters. I will say that Mystique is a very powerful character because she can be 100% anything, right? She wants, boom. 100%, John. I agree. You know, Mystique is kind of like a gender fluid character, right? Because she can really change her format, and that's what we were known her as today. Destiny and Mystique have kind of had this close relationship. They've been apart for a while. They've been together, and in House and Powers of X, Destiny and Moira were at odds because their powers are so close, and they have two different visions for the X-Men and where they're going to go with Krakoa. So when Mystique failed to defeat Nimrod, or to cease the awakening of Nimrod in Powers of X, or Powers of 10 rather, uh, when Nimrod came online and killed everyone, not only did Moira and Magneto and Charles halt the rebirth of Destiny in spite of Mystique, Moira is doing it just because they have beef and they have different viewpoints. So we definitely saw this relationship going full throttle, and the complications in it. What is up, Bobby? How are you doing today, sir? I'm so glad to see you in here, my friend. There are complications, as I was saying, in the recent X-Men issue, because Mystique really, really wants Destiny back. You know, that's someone that she loves. It's someone that she wants to be with. And Charles and Magneto are kind of hanging it over her head, kind of what John said in his previous video, how it was like they set her up for a failure, which ultimately brought Nimrod online to launch Inferno. I really want to see them back, just so Mystique doesn't go against Krakoa, because she can do some serious damage. She really can, you know, and I want to see Destiny back. It's been a few years. It's been like 2 years, and I really do like their dynamic. This picture by Luciano Vecchio, who's also a very talented LGBT creator, is drew this perfectly, and I really like this. I really like this couple a lot. And then we are gonna move on. We do have Deacon, who is bisexual, who is a clone. Yeah, shit's gonna hit the fan when Destiny comes back. So I'm super excited to see that. It's just gonna be like a power trip or like this whole like kind of gossip group of the Omega level mutants coming back together. We got Deacon, who is bisexual. We can find him over in the X Factor book. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, that does have one issue left. However, Deacon really has been getting his spotlight, being a clone or a direct offspring of Wolverine. I don't want to say offspring, but he's like a direct clone, almost a clone, right? It really just makes him go. I don't want to say crazy, but it makes him different. It makes him very different. So he's felt lost for so long, right? Yeah, let's be honest. Wolverine is definitely bi-curious too. That was teased throughout the X-Men books, and how Cyclops, Jean, and Wolverine have been sleeping together in the Summers area. So that's been teased as well. I didn't put that in the slideshow because it hasn't necessarily been confirmed. However, Deacon's sexuality has, and he's really been all over the place, you know, with his dynamic, and he's just such a character where he can do that. You know, you never know what you're going to get from Deacon, which is phenomenal for his character, and the fact that he's so closely linked to Wolverine kind of it's kind of a disconnect, right? Because he's always being compared to Wolverine. He's always felt kind of lost, but on Krakoa, I feel like he does have a home, and that's the whole point of Krakoa, is to give lost mutants their time to shine. And I'm really glad to see Deacon's character come so far since he was first created. I think it's been a little over 10 years since his character has hit the shelves. So Deacon is definitely a character that is only going to be explored more and more and more. For the Weapon X show coming up soon, maybe you could see some Deacon, you know. Deacon is phenomenal, guys. Definitely check out Leah Williams' X Factor for more on him. He's just a great character, and I love this character to death. Next up, we have Anole, who is part of the New Mutants team, introduced in 2006, I believe. Yes, and Anole, again, is a reptilian character who's never really gotten his spotlight. So the fact that he's on Krakoa, you're seeing him in bits and pieces in the New Mutants book and the New Mutants title, still headed by Vita Ayala. And then Anole has also been in, I believe, Cable and X Factor as well. So Anole we still need to learn a little bit more about Anole, and I'm excited for it. He's an openly gay character, so I am very confident that the X-Men will give him his flowers and give him his time to shine. And he's so young right now that we can have that growth And a lot of these newer characters too on Krakoa, right, really were not introduced in a good way. A lot of these characters that first appeared from like 2004, I'm even going to go back to say the new X-Men from Grant Morrison all the way until the launch of House of Powers of X, really were never introduced in a way that has really driven that character, because they were introduced and then put on the back end, put on like the burners. So I'm super glad that on Krakoa, these characters are now coming to the forefront and they're going to be aged properly. And it's their time, it's their story to be told. So I'm very excited to see more of Anole. So big shout out to him and his character. I'm super excited to see the growth that is yet to come. Then we have Betsy Braddock, who is bisexual. Not a lot of people know that. Betsy Braddock, everybody knows, is one of my favorite mutants. She is in my top 5. And Betsy, guys, with Excalibur and everything that she's doing in that book, and again, back in the Bronze Age, that's really where her character was also elevated as well. And Betsy is just a great leader, a great character in this universe. Very smart, very witty, has her heart out for everybody. And her sexuality really hasn't been explored since the early 2000s. So maybe that's something we can see on Krakoa going forward. However, her character, I can't talk more about her character in a way where I'm not just gushing over her, because she's such a beautiful character, and I think she will be perfect to see on the big screen and in a TV series. There's no reason why, once the X-Men get going, we don't get a Disney Plus exclusive of Excalibur with Betsy as the main character. I think that's something that I would want to see, and I think I'm just speaking for the whole community. Betsy is definitely a character that I think is severely underrated. She's like a mid-tier character that I think has the potential to be a lot more, and Excalibur is definitely giving her that stage to shine. So I'm super excited to see what Tini Howard does to her character, because she's yet to explore her sexuality and who she really is now that she's back. And now that she is back, so I am very excited for that she is back to her true self. And who knows, maybe we'll see some of that flair in the Hellfire Gala. She does have a very fire costume, guys. And then we have Magik and Kate Pryde. They're both bisexual. It has been teased that they have had a little bit of history kind of off panel. So this whole picture on Krakoa really has been teased. It's been teased, and it's something that I'm really excited to be explored. The beauty of Krakoa is all of these mutants are being themselves, and that's really the theme of Hickman's X-Men, is let's create a place where everyone can be themselves. And that's something that in the real world today, we need to allow for each other, whether you're in the workplace, whether you're with your friends, just be yourself, let your guard down, which is easier said than done, of course. But I truly believe that if given the chance, we will naturally be able to get to that point. Magik and Kate Pryde is a great example. Right, their passion for each other has been teased, and I have a feeling that this is going to be explored, and I can't wait, guys. My fondness of Magik hasn't really been there, because in the 2000s, right before Krakoa, her character was very inconvenient, and her character was very annoying and a nuisance to every single book she was on. And then I went back, I read some New Mutants. I'm reading what she's doing now on the current Mutants book and what she's done in X-Men. And her character is so fantastic, guys. Kate obviously being around for quite some time now. I think on John's X-Men show, they're going to get to her first appearance within the next 2 issues, which is Kate is one of my favorite characters, being introduced with Emma Frost and Dazzler, 2 other just very cool characters that I love, So I'm super excited to see their energy being portrayed. Again, I'm always a big fan of the Hellfire Gala because it has so many possibilities for what you can do with these characters. Kate and Magik, 100%. They just need to be together. I'm a huge fan of that. I want them to be together. I think they're very happy. Look at this picture and tell me that they're not, that you don't ship that. I'm not here to ship, but I'm just here to say, just give it a shot. See what it's like for them to explore what has been teased, and remember, guys, we are going to be over at Justin No Good Comics show in 10 minutes. Okay. So hang on tight for that. Maybe about around 7 minutes. Okay. Now, this character, I really do like this picture right over here. Deadpool is a pansexual character, which is what we don't see a lot. We need a little bit more pansexual characters, which means that Deadpool really is just attracted to everyone. You know, gender, sex does not matter, right? And I think that Deadpool's sexuality, right, hasn't really been explored since Jerry Dugan. It's been kind of teased in the movies. So I'm really excited for what they can do with Deadpool. He did just kind of sneak into the gala, if you guys have read X-Force. But you know, I really do want to see more of Deadpool's character being portrayed. I think a lot of people put his humor first and a lot of his witty lines, but I just want to see Deadpool be himself. I would love to see someone redo the Astonishing X-Men Caden Colossus cover with magic instead. Yes. Yes. John, that would be so perfect. How awkward for Kate to sleep with both brother and sister, though. You know what? You know, it is what it is, though. You got to try them both out to really see what you really like. But again, back to Deadpool, guys. I really do think his character has yet to be explored. A lot of people put his humor first rather than Deadpool's character because that's what we're so attached to. However, I do think we can get a good dynamic of Deadpool if we kind of see what we can do with that, you know? So I am very excited. I'm looking forward to someone really exploring that. And yeah, John's hilarious. So Deadpool, again, it's like, and I love this picture right over here. So once again, you guys, theme for today is make sure we're always being on the lookout for how we can brighten someone's day, how we can always be aware of our situation and how we're being accepting of one another, whether you are part of the LGBTQ plus community or you are an ally. It is still your job to make sure that people are being accepted for who they are. Like I said earlier, every day, like we do have some level of fear of being each other. We all kind of hold back parts of ourselves that we want to keep inside. You know, that can be a little bit uncomfortable in a social setting, but you know, if we're just constantly aware of it, just make people feel welcome, make people feel accepting, and that's something that is a big strength of the comic community. Right. I just want to let everybody know if you guys ever want to shoot me a DM, if you guys ever need anything, I'm always here. My doors are wide open for you. 100%. You can just find me on Instagram at ComixKings. And I'm always here for you guys. You guys always know that. That I love each and every single one of you guys in the community. Yes, you all my peeps. Exactly. You know, so that's really our job, you know, and then just to end the show, I do have a quick few announcements coming up. So tomorrow is weekly wrap up with Bryce. We are going to be talking about the Hellfire Gala. You guys saw my picture on Instagram where I dressed up. However, you have not seen Bryce's outfit. So tomorrow, tune into weekly wrap up, see what we are wearing to the gala, and take a look at all the books that we read this past week as we let you guys know what happened in them, as well as what we thought about them and whether or not we're going to continue reading. This was a pretty big week of books. I did buy every single Hellfire Gala costume or design cover. I did go crazy for the gala. I'm so sorry. I'm not so sorry. But yeah, I'm so excited for all of that. I'm so excited for the X-Men to continue being unapologetically themselves and all the lore that's going on with these characters. I'm telling you guys, it is one of the best books in comics right now, and it's something that I'm excited to read every single week is the X-Men. Also coming up on the channel on Sunday, creator Bob Layton, legend Bob Layton, co-creator of War Machine, co-creator of Ant-Man, co-creator of Huntress, and co-creator of Valiant Comics. What is up, Ragin'? Will be on the show Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you guys tune into that. He wrote Demon in a Bottle, guys. That is so great. And Rudy, my brother, thank you so much for the AOK, man. One of the AOKs is going for the giveaway that is upcoming. I'm just waiting on a shipment from a creator that we're also teaming up with. And that is the next announcement that I do have is Bryce and I are teaming up to do a giveaway of a thumb drive that Rudy so gratefully donated for the channel to give away, as well as signed Wonder Woman comics and a Harley Quinn slab. Okay, so you can win a lot of stuff just by tuning into Weekly Wrap Up. Maybe not this week, maybe the week after, depending on when these books come in, because I know that they are in transit. Okay, we got Modston. What is going on, you guys? What's going on? So glad to see everybody in here today. And thank you, Justin, for the kind words. As John has been dropping links in the channel, we are going to hang out on Justin's show. Make sure you guys go back and catch the replays of everyone else. in the comic community who are a part of Tag Team Thursday. Make sure we're always supporting each other and just making each other feel welcome, every single day. Thank you guys so much. And next week we will be talking about DC LGBTQ plus in comics. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Brandon. I'll catch you guys next time.